Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. The Matt Danger here. I'm joined by my uncle, the platypus, Simon. And we're going to be doing predictions from now on every Wednesday night or Thursday morning. I haven't quite decided when I'll be uploading. Depends on when I can. But we're going to be going through all the AFL rounds. So starting with round 1, this round coming up tomorrow night. Should be a cracker. Kind of. Richmond versus Carlton. To truly kick off the season.
What a way to start the season.
Yeah, I'm okay with them having Richmond Carlton as this season opener. But maybe just readjust it depending on where the teams are. If both teams are doing well, have it opening night, I'm fine with that. But if they're not great, just chuck it on a Saturday afternoon or something. I don't know.
I suppose Carlton people will be happy because they've had 5 or 6 years of getting walloped in the opening round, and now's their turn to do a bit of payback.
Yeah, that's true. And now people are calling for it to be taken off the round 1 fixture. But, Uncle, who are you going with?
You got to go Carlton, don't you? I'd be surprised if Richmond win any games this year. So I've gone Carlton by 80 points.
80 points. I've got them down by 60. So I think I think the young kids for Richmond might do a little bit, but it also depends on the injuries that they've got too in Carlton. On to Friday night's game. Hawthorn versus Essendon. Personally, that could be a cracker.
Yeah, it's probably the game of the round in a way. There's a lot of rivalry. Being a Hawthorn supporter, there's huge rivalry between the two clubs. So this should be a must-watch game for the round.
Good Friday night clash. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go with Hawthorn myself.
Me too. Interestingly, the tipping websites have got 92% favouring Hawthorn. I don't think it'll be that one-sided.
No, I'm probably predicting sort of same margin that I think Sydney and Hawthorn was, to around that 20 points, I think. But I think it'll still be pretty competitive throughout the game.
I agree.
I'm excited to see Kako, actually. That should be good.
Yeah, the Caddy Cack show. See what happens.
Saturday afternoon, starting off the blockbusters. Geelong versus Fremantle down at GMHBA. That one could be.
I think Fremantle have got a pretty good record at Geelong, but
is it? I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's them and GWS that have a win streak down at GMHBA against Geelong. I think GWS is something like 5 or something. It's ridiculous. But I will actually tip Geelong this week.
Me too. Yeah, I think they're one of my top 4 teams for the year. So for these sort of games, they're going to have to win it if they want to finish top 4. So we'll go Geelong there. Yeah,
Geelong for myself. But Fremantle, a lot of people tipping Fremantle do quite well this year. So that could be interesting to see. I think it's a good test to see whether or not they will be or not. Starting off round 1. Then in the afternoon game, the twilight game, we've got Sydney and Brisbane, my game of the round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up at the SCG.
I think this will be the only game we're different.
Yeah.
I've gone Sydney.
I've gone Brisbane. I actually have in the Nostradamus tipping that we have a tipping competition where we tip all the games before opening round starts. I've got Sydney in that, but my week-to-week tipping, I've gone Brisbane after last week's kind of shambles over Sydney.
Yeah, they were a bit disappointing against the Hawks, but they were in it until 3/4 time. They weren't that bad. The Hawks just were pretty solid in that last quarter. I don't know if they played that badly, but I've tipped Sydney because of the disruption the Brisbane team have had this week with training. So I think they might just be a little bit off with fumbling and stuff like that. So that's the only reason I've gone Sydney this week.
Yeah, I think that's quite fair, actually. Saturday night's games. First off, we've got Bulldogs versus North Melbourne. Bulldogs?
Yes.
I think it's fair to say, I think throughout all of this year, there won't be a lot of times where we will say North Melbourne.
No, and I think the Bulldogs are quite lucky that they're playing someone like North Melbourne with the injuries they've had in the off-season. I think just about every other club they played, barring maybe Richmond or the Eagles, I would not have been picking them. But the way the season's worked out, it's going to be a nice start for them.
Yeah, I can't believe the amount of injuries and I guess the star power of the injuries too. It's not just first yearers or anything like that. Like Bont and Libba both out. I think it's Libba.
Trelaw. It's the high end players. So
but as you said, luckily they're versing probably a bottom 4 team this year. If it had been someone like a Brisbane or someone where it's
no way you can pick.
Yeah. So, but I've gone Bulldogs. I've gone Bulldogs as well.
Yep.
I think they'll just be too strong for a young side. That same night, we got Collingwood versus Port Adelaide at the G. Could be pretty tight after Collingwood's last game. I'm not fully convinced on them, but it's only one game and it was hot. So
yep.
I don't know.
The battle of the prison bars.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know who I'm going to go actually.
Yeah, lots of intrigue. I mean, Ken Hinkley's last season, of course, so the players will be looking to send him out with a good year. What better way than beating their old arch rivals Collingwood in round one. Collingwood disappointing last week. There's been a lot of talk on them this week, so that's why I've gone Collingwood. I think they'll just fire up and show that there'll be some bounce in them this week. So
I think that's a very good assumption of it. I think they have to bounce back. Although in saying that, it is supposed to be 35 degrees on Saturday here. So
is that right?
Yeah, 35.
Wow.
So could be a warm night, but yeah, we'll see if they cramp up again.
Well, maybe the game they've played might condition them pretty well for another hot game. More, they might be better suited to it than Port Adelaide.
Might be able to rejig the way that they prepared for the game, and Port Adelaide probably just hasn't quite had that. Even though it's only a 1 week difference, might make the difference.
Might be the difference.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Collingwood myself. I think at the G, Collingwood are just very good at the G.
Yep.
So, on to Sunday's games. My Crows. Adelaide versus St Kilda to kick us off Sunday at Adelaide Oval. An earlier game, 12:30 start. Actually, they're going for the no longer going to have overlaps on a Sunday. I hear so.
So they have
12:30, 3:20, 6:10. So that should be a very good Sunday, full of footy.
What a Sunday in the winter!
Oh yeah. Oh god, if I wasn't going to watch cricket grand final this weekend, settle in for a 9-hour stream. Adelaide, I think too strong at home.
Oh yeah.
I think they've had
been widely
season. They've picked up.
Widely thought of to get into the finals. So if they want to be serious, then they're going to have to take this.
I think
and do it well.
I think they need to win and win well, probably by 5 goals or something like that. Kind of just solidified. It's just how good they are. Or if they're going to make finals, definitely you can't be losing to St Kilda, especially when I predict probably a bottom 4 team for this year, St Kilda. So
4 or 5, yes.
Yeah. On to the next game, straight after, Melbourne versus GWS at the MCG. That one could be quite interesting, I think. Yeah,
I mean, Giants couldn't have been more impressive last week with their win, so I've gone for them on that basis. Melbourne, I just get a feeling there's always a team every year where you tip them and you get them wrong.
Yep, that's Fremantle.
Just got a feeling Melbourne, and I've got a feeling Melbourne might be that team for me this year. I don't know how they've backed up from last year's horror show, so I think if they fail badly this year, then Goodwin could be in trouble. But Giants were so impressive. I'm going to have to go with them.
Yeah, Giants were very, very impressive. I thought pretty much the whole game. I mean, I thought Collingwood's goal kicking accuracy in front of goal early on was the difference, but just the longer the game went on, I realised goal kicking is not the difference. It's just GWS are good this year. It looked like.
Yep. They looked really good.
Yeah, I would have GWS in my week-to-week tipping this week. I've got Melbourne in our Nostradamus, though. So
have you?
Yeah, I think the G just kind of tickled my interest a bit.
Waited for you?
Yeah. On to the last game of the round. Bit of a fizzler, to be honest, for a last game. But West Coast versus Gold Coast. Battle of the Coasts. East and West. Even though it's at Optus, I think Gold Coast, they look like they're going to be good this year, but they haven't played. So we'll see. But I think that they'll be around that 8 to 10 range, I think.
Yep. If they want to play finals, they have to travel to Perth and beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
They just have to. And if they don't, if they come away from this with a loss, then again, you're questioning their ability to play finals. So they have to go there and win. For that, I'm going to pick them.
for sure. I think they've done some pretty good recruits as well. They picked up Rioli and can't remember who they got from Collingwood. But yeah, I think they'll be quite good. West Coast didn't. I mean, they got Matt Owies, but realistically, I don't think Matt Owies was that great of a pickup.
No, I mean they're 2 or 3 years away from being relevant. So
yeah, and unfortunately for them, Harley Reid may not even be there. So, but they need a lock onto him. They need a lock onto Harley Reid if they're going to be any good in the future. Well, there you go. There's our first round picks. Appreciate it. We'll catch you guys next week. I will be live streaming reactions. Uncle will be there for 1 or 2 of the nights anyway.
Be tomorrow night anyway.
Thursday nights live streaming on the channel. Links in the description. We'll also be streaming live here on YouTube and also on Twitch. So yeah, Thursdays and Friday nights we'll be doing live reactions, and then probably 1 game Saturday, 1 game Sunday if I'm free. So yeah, all right, catch you guys next week. See ya.
See you all.
Bye.